David, it's great to see you, man. This movie is a ton of fun, so I'm excited to talk to you about it.
Good to see you, Brandon.
There's a million things we could talk about. And of course, I'm going to have like Marvel questions for you at the end and stuff. But I have to start with Violent Night by saying I will never look at a candy cane the same way again. What was the most fun Christmas themed prop to turn into a weapon of mass destruction?
I mean, I'm going to take it off your inspiration, sir. And I got to say, a candy cane, well sucked for several minutes, becomes quite an impressive shank. So if you're ever in trouble and all you got is sweet candy around you, you might be okay.
That is, I never thought of it that way. But when you put it, yes, that is true. It is a self-defense course right there. The movie is so violent, but I never found myself not laughing. Like I was having so much fun. So on set, like, was it extremely messy? Was everybody laughing? What was the vibe while you guys were making it?
I mean, we had a good time, but I got to say, like, that stuff is hard work. Like, it's so exhausting doing those sequences. They look so fun when they're put together, but my God, is that painful to run and do all that crazy stuff. And on top of that, you got a huge old fake beard and mustache and a wig and a big fat suit and a leather jacket. And yeah, it was very brutal on the body and the mind, but we did have a good time making it. I really enjoyed making that movie, but it was not as fun as you may have watching it. That's for sure.
More fun for us. I appreciate your work, sir. So wait, it was like a bodysuit you had to wear underneath the costume to add a little fluff to Santa Claus?
Well, I mean, I also did my own eating, which added plenty of fluff. But there were times when I think I ate specifically for that sequence where he takes his shirt off so you could see as much as we had. And then there was times as we went on shooting where I had to start losing weight for another thing. So we had to pad him out a little bit. So yeah, we got to some of those really intense action sequences. Sequence-wise, I think I was wearing a lot of padding. So that makes you even sweatier. But even with the extra real weight, even without padding, you get sweaty with all that weight, you know. Carry 270, 275, 280. That's a lot of sweat you could build up with that kind of body.
That's up there. It gives you a whole new respect for the Santa Clauses you see in the mall every year. Yeah. Did you keep the costumes? Did you keep anything from it?
No, I never keep anything anymore. I do have a sledgehammer. I have a rubber sledgehammer that I like. But where are you gonna wear that stuff? You know, you can't wear a big old red leather Santa jacket out in the world. It's just gonna sit in your closet as some weird memory for the rest of your life. I'm too old for that.
Yeah, I mean, if the acting thing doesn't work out, maybe you could pick up that gig right after Thanksgiving. Maybe.
There's a possibility. In
this movie, there's a solid like Home Alone homage. And I thought that was one of the most fun parts of the film. And I love to hear from you. Like it's Home Alone dialed up to 11 and R-rated. And you guys nailed it. And Leah Brady as Trudy is so much fun in this film. I love to hear from you working with a young actress like that, working with your director, Tommy, to recreate sequences like that, but with the Violent Night stamp.
Yeah. That Home Alone sequence is a real crowd pleaser. I mean, it plays so well. I think part of it too is that she's so charismatic and so charming and wide-eyed and sweet that, you know, her trying to recreate that movie in a crazy, violent way is quite surprising and hilarious. You know, Tommy's great with all that stuff. He was so creative on set, so spontaneous, and such a wacky, fun dude, and loved the bloody stuff so much that the whole spirit and the whole vibe was very joyful. It's a really nice shoot.
That's cool. That's good. When the trailer dropped, like obviously any action movie now, I feel like this is the best compliment a movie could get. But when the trailer dropped, there's immediate comparisons to John Wick with Santa Claus reskinning it a bit. And this, you know, David Leitch and 87 North are attached to that, and that's the genius behind John Wick. What was it like to work with 87 North and these geniuses who are some of the best stunt teams in the world and get to bring that to life? How would you compare, those two worlds in your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, it was one of the reasons why I wanted to do it, was initially taking the meeting and knowing from David. I remember what he did with Charlize in Atomic Blonde and having her do these choreographed sequences. And I was so excited to do that. As an actor, you get to represent. You kind of want to be the guy who does the things. You're always handing it off to the stunt guy, and so I knew he was a guy. David was a guy who trained actors to do these things, and so that was one of the really exciting things about it. I didn't know how painful it was to actually be one of the guys, and now I'm very happy to hand it over to the stunt guys even more after this experience, because those guys are incredible. I mean, the things that they can do with their body. I'm just too old and brittle for that crap now. But it was fun to have, one hurrah where I was like, I'm going to train to do this. I'm going to do as much of it as I can. And I did do a lot of it. So, they're the best in the world, and they're so generous to the actor that comes in. They really treat you like, really like, you feel great about yourself and about what you're doing. They're very supportive. So yeah, it was a blast.
They make you look like a superstar. It's awesome.
They make you look good.
They do you think you took anything from this? I mean, you've done action before, and do you think you've done anything from this that you're going to take with you into future roles like Thunderbolts with Red Guardian, or even Stranger Things, or anything else?
Unfortunately, I told them, because I trained harder for this than I've ever trained for anything, and the jiu-jitsu and the Greco-Roman wrestling, which you don't even see a lot in the movie. There was other choreography which we talked about doing. There was a whole discipline that we developed with him. And I got good at some of this really fascinating stuff. And unfortunately, I told the director of Thunderbolts, what I was doing and how good I was getting at this stuff. And he was like, all right, well, then we're going to write some more of that stuff. So I'm worried.
Man.
My knees are worried.
No, they're gonna put you to task again, dude. I mean, I would love to hear about that. I mean, have you read the script for Thunderbolts yet? Do you know when you guys get to work on that?
I know we go to work next year. I have not read a script, but I've been told the arc of the story and how the story goes. I apparently will be reading a script very soon, but it's cool. And there's, it's very unique. And also it has all this cool action and cool comedy from what has been described to me. And then there is like a bomb drop thing that we add to the universe, which is will be very exciting for the movie to do at the end of this particular phase that we're ending.
Yeah, phase 5.
Yeah, it's a cool thing that we get to drop in the middle of the universe.
Oh, that's going to be exciting, man. And I mean, we've seen, the Marvel Universe has given us teams like the Avengers, who are like, the noble people, the Guardians of the Galaxy, who are kind of like the cosmic anti-hero silly bunch. Where on that spectrum do you think this group is going to fall?
We're like losers, which I like. We're like, the losers. And I think it's fun to watch us just mess everything up. I think that's the spectrum. I think it's very funny, but there's also a lot of like pathos in that. There's a lot of like drama in a bunch of people who just keep getting their lives wrong and because of character flaws, keep messing things up. And nobody gives them the respect that they do to Captain America and Iron Man, very capable people. So there's a lot to draw on there. I think there's like a lot of movie there that'll be fun.
I can't wait, man. And of course, listen, you're going back. The next time you go back to Stranger Things, it's expected to be the last time you go back to Stranger Things. And I can only imagine how much being a part of that project means to all of you as like a family, the Stranger Things family, because it became such a global phenomenon. Have you started to think about like what that's going to be like for life after Stranger Things when you get that last wrap call? It's like, is it really the end? Like, how does that feel? How does it feel to think about stuff like that?
I mean, it's a hard question to answer because I'm excited for it to be the end because I'm excited to do other things. There's so many other things which I want to do. And at the same time, it's my favorite character that I've ever played. And those guys the Duffer Brothers are my favorite guys, and they make my favorite stuff. So of course, it has a real sadness to it. The great thing is we know it going in, and it's not something where it'll come up on us and be like, oh, that was the last time we got canceled. It's like, we know it. And so in that way, I'll be able to pour my soul into this year of filming, or however long it'll take him to shoot 8 episodes. I'll be able to pour my soul into Jim Hopper, who I've loved, but in a way it'll be a real consummation as opposed to, something where I have to feel sad or miss or all kinds of things about it. I can really just do it for what it needs to be done and burn up in the ash of it.
Oh, man, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for all of us. My last question for you. Triple threat match. Jim Hopper, Red Guardian, and Santa Claus from Violent Night. Who's walking out victorious?
I mean, I know that both Red Guardian and Jim Hopper are on the naughty list. So I think Santa Claus is going to beat the crap out of both of them.
Oh, man. Well, thank you so much for talking, David. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. The movie's a ton of fun, and I can't wait for everybody to see it.
Oh, thanks, Brandon.